Alright, we have a caravan here. Customer's complaint is, where am I going to put you? This main circuit breaker's tripping when it's under load. So I'm going to check the current going through that main circuit breaker to make sure that it's not the issue. I'll run you through it. Alright, so I've got the fuse panel out. I don't know if you can see it, you probably won't be able to see it, but that's actually a .30 amp manual reset circuit breaker. I've got my current clamp here. It's currently drawing about 4.5 amps. I'm thinking this is the problem. Going up. Look, I don't like manual reset circuit breakers. For certain applications I think they're good, for like motors and pumps where loads vary quite dramatically when motors are loaded up. But for fixed current draw such as lights and chargers and bits and pieces like that with a maximum fixed draw, I still believe your fuses or fuse style protections are the best. I just think that manual reset circuit breakers just got their downfall with heat, and you know, I've had them in the past where they trip below or above what they're rated at. I just find that, you know, your fixed fuse, if there's a problem with a fixed draw such as a light, it's generally because there's an issue with the light itself or with the circuitry to the light. I know it's a pain to have to carry extra fuses in case something blows, but I just think they're just better because if it does blow, you know there's a problem. With these circuit breakers, they can be a bit of a fire hazard if the contacts do burn shut and they fuse together. There's no circuit protection, so that's another reason why I don't like them. Like I said, I will use them on, say, tailgate lifts and things like that, but not for this application where you just got lights. You got a water pump. Again, a water pump you could probably run it, but again I think fuses are far better application for, you know, your RV sector. We'll see if this thing blows soon enough. We're at just under 10 amps there. Alright, in typical fashion, this hasn't popped. So what I've done, actually now you can see 30 amp circuit breaker. I've set this current clamp to minimum maximum, so I'm going to turn the loads on because I've got other things to do, and in theory hopefully minimum maximum will record the maximum current of which it dropped out at. So let's see if my theory is correct, and we'll come back and check it when everything turns off. So loads on, 4 amp draw, and we shall see. Alright, it's tripped again. It's time at 19 amps, so well below the 30. So I might swap out the circuit breaker with the German made ones. It's 35 amp. I'm not going to go too much bigger than what's there, purely for the fact if it come out of factory with a 30 amp and it was fine, we'll leave that there, but I'm just going to go a better quality ETA German brand one as opposed to a Chinese circuit breaker, which I'm assuming this is what this is. Could be wrong, but I think that is a Chinese breaker. But anyway, I'll retest it with this one and we'll see how we go. New breakers in. Let's see what it does. Alright, this has been running for a few days. Let's see where we're at. 10 amps. Perfect. In actual fact, this circuit breaker is a lot cooler. It's stone cold compared to the last one. So this clearly had an issue. I have been running a water pump periodically, so I've been getting the current up as well around that 20 amp mark, 19 amp mark, and it hasn't tripped. This one was also tripping even at a lower current, with just some lights on and the fridge cycling in and out. It was tripping in and out. I just ran the water pump, so more load, just to make it happen more often while I was testing. Look, there are other ways I can test this by putting a continuous load on the bench, but running the current clamp was just the easiest way to do it. If it hadn't played up while the current clamp was going, I would have maybe put a continuous load on the bench and checked it there, but again, this has worked fine. Yeah, so like, subscribe, comment on what sort of auto electrical things you'd like me to post. We don't do automotive general diagnostics, it's more RV diagnostics, fit outs, air conditioning diagnostics and fit outs, not so much EFI, but if anything like that does come up, I'm happy to post. Bye.